Dorian Finney-Smith is out there with Johnson. Then there's Nicholas Claxton. Then there's Dennis Schroeder, and it's Bridges in at the 2. And for the Timberwolves, Conley is the point. Edwards plays on the wing. The two towering figures inside for him, Towns and Gobert. And it's McDaniels in at the small forward position. And the latter half of the season, Greg, in your experience, did the games get easier or harder than it was earlier on?
Overall, I'd say it's harder later on. Physically, you're more banged up, and mentally, man, it's a long season, and that can wear on you as well.
Now here's Conley, the pass to McDaniels. Edwards looking it over. One up, one down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
Well, in pick-and-roll action, Anthony Edwards is thinking score first. Good decision right there.
Nets passing it around. Bridges inside. Edwards defending. They grab their own miss. The shot's good from Claxton.
You have to appreciate the doggedness and intensity on the glass. Wow.
Pass to Towns. Fires the 3. Rebounded by the Nets. Last time they met was in Brooklyn.
Well, they were on the wrong side of a very close matchup last time they met, but what a great game.
Claxton with it. Defended by Gobert. Claxton the pass to Johnson. 6 on the shot clock. Shoots over McDaniel. They get it back. Claxton. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. It's going to be on Rudy Gobert.
First team foul.
Greg, here we are watching Claxton. Who does he remind you of?
You know, Kevin, defensively, he looks a lot like Aiden out there. Similar builds. And Claxton can also handle the ball a little bit. Just want to see if this guy can develop an ability to play facing up to the basket.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first one falls. Boy, Brooklyn GA did all they could to assemble a championship team, and look what happened.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, you take your swings in this league, and sometimes it works. Sometimes you have to retool, and they still have some good players to build around.
He doesn't get the second one. After 2 consecutive first-round exits, Greg, the Timberwolves are looking to take that next step.
And with Anthony Edwards at the helm, I think they will soon. But you have to remember, he is only 22 years old, and when your star is that young, you typically have to endure some growing pains before breaking through.
So it's Brooklyn now, following the bucket by the Timberwolves. Schroeder passes to Bridges. That one doesn't drop. Great D that time from Edwards. Just about 2 minutes into the game, first quarter of basketball. Pass to Gobert. Bridges with the board.
Boy, this guy is a good finisher, so he misses a chippy. That's tough to take.
Passes to Finney-Smith. Here's Schroeder trying to claw his way back after a terrible showing in that loss to Boston. Out of bounds. Minnesota takes possession. Already it's February. Hard to believe. Let's see how the West is matching up. You look at the Timberwolves. They've got their eye on the #1 seed as the season moves into the final stretch. Currently first place in the standings, and guys showing no signs of letting up.
Well, right now for the Timberwolves, for me, they've taken the league by storm this season. I felt like they were maybe a year ahead of schedule in terms of being an elite group. But you look at them right now, and here they are.
They weren't on anyone's radar, let's be honest, before the season began. But they've put themselves square in the conversation now.
Now Schroeder, after the missed 3 from Karl Anthony Towns. Claxton the pass to Johnson. Schroeder outside. Shoots. It's hauled in by Karl Anthony Towns.
Boy, the offensive flow just isn't there right now. 1 for 5 to start the game.
Edwards dishes to Conley. Back to Edwards. And finished off by Edwards.
How about Anthony Edwards? The bounce. Go ahead, Andy.
Assisted by Mike Conley.
Nice job capturing the moments on the AT&T 5G Slam Cam. There's the pass to Finney Smith. Misses and the dry spell continues.
Boy, if you're going up against this guy in this close a range, you've got to defend with everything you've got. A tremendous job defensively.
Now here's Schroeder. Hasn't made one yet. Johnson outside. Conley against Schroeder. Inside. That's good from Bridges on the assist by Schroeder.
This guy's such a difference maker. Dennis Schroeder is so dangerous in pick-and-roll situation, dribble handoffs.
Naz Reid, he's checked in for Rudy Gobert. Anderson comes in for Karl Anthony Towns. Alexander Walker, he's checked in for Edwards. And Morris subbed in for Mike Conley. Now, here is Morris. He picked up 12 points in their last win against Portland. Anderson outside. Pass to Morris. The three. Thomas grabs the rebound. And so Thomas will bring it up for the Nets. Unloads from 13. And it's McDaniels with the rebound. Minnesota in the lead. Morris left side. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. Greg, taking a look at Monte Morris for a second. You got to be inspired by his terrific story.
I mean, from a late second-round pick to a seasoned NBA player, Morris never gave up on himself and continues to impress with each passing season.
Free throw good for Morris.
Monte Morris was a late second-round selection back in 2017. But boy, hard work and perseverance has paid off for this guy.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. And GA, this Nets team, kind of slim on the interior, don't you think? How can they be most effective?
Well, you've got to press that advantage as far as quickness and get out and run and challenge opposing bigs to cover you in space.
Boy, what a job defensively. You couldn't play that any better.
Here's Alexander Walker, covered by Smith. Smith with the defensive effort. Nets trail by 3. It's Thomas on the wing. And again, it's the Nets missing. Minnesota's gone 0-3 from 3-point land. Nothing in going outside. Anderson passes to Morris. Here's Alexander Walker. Out to Morris. 3-pointer. The offensive rebound. Pass to Reid. Morris outside. A rebound by the Nets.
Boy, he was wide open. You wonder, did he overthink it? That's a missed opportunity.
Here's Thomas. And good. And the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim.
And you see the ability to rise and fire from mid-range. Against that.
Well, action in the books as we get back to the game. That's been pretty close here so far. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Timberwolves?
Attacking, drawing fouls. They won that first quarter at the line.
They have done a tremendous job of drawing contact and putting officials in a place where they simply have to make the call.
So it's Brooklyn now. They trail by 1. Next game for them, they'll take on the Raptors at Toronto. And that will be game 3 of 6 played away from home. And Brooklyn, looking who they've got. We've got Nicholas Claxton. Dennis Schroeder is out there with Bridges. Then it's Sharp, and it's Johnson in at small forward. Here's Conley, following the bucket by the Nets. And the NBA looking to reduce the amount of carrying threes. It seems like GA ball handlers had to adjust.
You know, guards can get away with a lot these days, and it's hard for players and refs to make that adjustment. Ultimately, things need to be kept in check.
Timberwolves shooting 33% for the night. That's a big throw on their side right now. And Edwards with the stuff.
Well, if you want to pinpoint one thing about Mike Conley, it's his feel for the game. That's a pretty pass.
Schroeder looking around. And the call is going to be, yes, it is an illegal screen.
Beyond the leaning, you can see his feet more set on that screen. Easy call.
You know, he's just leaning a little bit. You try to get away with it, but boy, the official all over it.
Get there!
Conley against Schroeder. Passes it to Towns. And the dunk by Towns.
Boy, when these bigs like Karl Anthony Towns show off that power, you've got to love it.
And while we've got a moment, let's send it over to our terrific reporter, David Aldridge. David?
Thank you, Kevin. The Nets have been forced to pivot from their star-crossed super team era. The what-ifs are fading into the rearview mirror. Now it's people like Mikal Bridges that are going to form the next new era. And rest assured, this team has dug its way out of far worse. With the draft assets and two-way talent on the roster, their aim is to remain competitive. Kevin?
I think they are. David, thank you for the report. Quarter number 2, we're about 2 minutes in. Bridges finds Schroeder. Good work defensively by Conley. Timberwolves leading by 5. And Doris, you were saying this about Kyle Anderson. He can give you a little bit of everything.
Kevin, he's one of those guys who'll provide shooting, defense, passing, playmaking, you name it. Sort of that jack of all trades at the forward spot. This guy has always found minutes because his understanding of the game is elite.
Now here's Schroeder. After the miss from Karl Anthony Towns, Bridges misses. Edwards with it. Now guarded by Schroeder. Edwards against Schroeder. Here's Gobert. Off target at the rim. And wrestling for it there, but no one has possession. We'll have a jump ball.
Jump ball.
And so it's Brooklyn with it. And so it's Johnson who brings the ball up for the Brooklyn Nets. It's a 5-point game. Conley against Schroeder. The pass to Bridges. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Shoots. And again, it's the Nets missing.
The right thing there to stay that tight on him and really try to keep him out of his comfort zone.
Here's Edwards, and he uses the glass on the right. Edwards got the lead up to 7 now for the Timberwolves.
Not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
And the Nets decided to take their first time out here. Couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with Boston.
Rough game defensively. I mean, they lost a lot of the individual matchups, and the help was slow to rotate.
I'll tell you this, if you're going to allow your opponent to make that many shots, you have got to be as solid on the offensive end, and clearly they were not.
Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves. Naz Reid, he's checked in for Karl Anthony Towns. McDaniels comes in for Anderson, and Monte Morris subbed in for Mike Conley. Gobert can't hit. Nets trailed by 5. And Simmons kicks to Smith. Shot from 12. And it's off the back rim, no good for Minnesota. They've got just over 50% of their shots to drop here in the second quarter. They're 5 for 9. So much fun indoors to watch. Anthony Edwards on the floor. This kid is electric.
Kevin, this guy is part of the next generation of great players. When you look at the rising stars in this league, he's got to be near the top of that list. Unbelievable offensively, 3-level scorer, and a guy who will get down and dirty on the defensive end.
Free throw good, Edwards. And it didn't take long for Anthony Edwards to cement himself, Greg, as Minnesota's franchise player.
He is one of the best young players in the league with clear superstar potential. The future of the Timberwolves starts with Edwards.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Alexander Walker's checked in. And Edwards drops them both. And you know, Doris, Brooklyn's gone through a pretty tumultuous few seasons.
You know, Kevin, there have been some circumstances that were unpredictable contributing to what you're talking about. And now, as a consequence, a lot of turnover on the roster and on the coaching staff. Listen, it's never easy to make the kind of transition they've had to make.
Now, here is Smith. Finney Smith. Another shot. And with that shot, the Timberwolves lead is cut down to 5 on the bucket from Smith.
Well, the athleticism of Dennis Smith Jr. allows him to work on the glass. That is nicely done.
Here's Alexander Walker, and he comes up with the deuce. Alexander Walker's got his first 2 points of the night.
And just a great second quarter for them after such a difficult first, bringing that field goal percentage up from below 30, and now with the lead.
Smith the pass to Finney Smith. Thomas deciding where to go with it. Softly drops in the floater. Thomas got his second bucket tonight.
Well, instead of forcing it all the way to the cup, he just goes with that little teardrop.
Morris kicks to Reed. The shot's good on the assist by Morris. And the Timberwolves lead by 8.
I tell you, the moment he sees the open man, Monte Morris lets it go.
Smith on the wing, covered by Morris. Oh, and the jam by Ben Simmons.
Simmons with a little flair and flash. Let him feel all of your basketball ability, Ben Simmons.
Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. Reed the pass to McDaniels. No good on the 3. Pass to Simmons. And here is Thomas. No good on the last second attempt there. And so it's Minnesota with their lead standing at 6 points here halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. You know, Anthony Edwards has been exceptional here, guys.
He's done a fantastic job of finding open space to operate within the first few quarters.
One of the things every player is after is efficiency at the offensive end. And boy, this young guy has done just that.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. The front court is McDaniels and Towns. Conley is the point. Edwards plays on the wing. And it's Gobert in at the center position. That's Chris Finch's 5 as we get into the second half.
Well, coaches love seeing this from Dennis Schroeder. Recognize the situation, find the open teammate.
Conley against Schroeder. Right block shot. Conley's shot is off. And so it's Johnson who brings the ball up for the Brooklyn Nets. They trail by 3. Pass to Schroeder. Over Gobert. Rudy Gobert with the rebound. Gobert's got his 4th rebound in this one. For Rudy Gobert, he is one of 4 players, Doris, to win Defensive Player of the Year 3 times.
And you think back, Kevin, he was a late first-round pick in 2013, probably has exceeded all expectations. He has obviously cemented himself as one of the all-time defenders in NBA history.
Johnson outside. Passes it to Finney Smith. Nets passing it around. Here's Schroeder. And a miss there on the triple.
He is just really almost playing for the other team. The shooting has just been poor.
Shoots from 12. Goes back up. And Gobert with the layup. And the Timberwolves lead by 7.
When it comes to offensive rebounding, one of the best in the business, Rudy Gobert.
Time now to turn to our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, Rudy Gobert is a fierce competitor. He says the average fan might not understand what I bring to the table, but the GMs in the league do. I want to be the best defensive player of all time. I want to be a force, and I want to win championships. I've got to set the tone every night. Kevin?
And he does. He is a stopper, no doubt about it. David, thank you. Here's Bridges. Great D that time from Edwards.
Only 20% shooting in this quarter. They need to settle down and relax a little bit here.
McDaniels with the ball. He's against Bridges. Gobert down low. Claxton covering. He shoots again. Gobert can't hit.
And it's just one of those days, guys. He has just struggled to shoot the basketball.
Feeds to Bridges. Over Edwards. Bridges misses. Timberwolves leading by 7. And Conley gets it to go. The assist from Edwards.
Anthony Edwards plays with joy, and you love to see him get his teammates involved. Pretty pass.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Schroeder against Conley. And it's Schroeder missing.
No one to blame on that one but himself. You get looks like that, you've got to take advantage.
Well, here we are talking about Timberwolves greats. One player standing out to me, and Doris, I know to you. That's Kevin Garnett.
I don't think there is any debate that KG is number 1. He is Minnesota's all-time leader in points, assists, rebounds, steals, and blocks. And my goodness, what a career.
Here's Johnson. And he can't stop this drought. Another miss. Here's Edwards. And there's the drive. This once again remains perfect. 6 attempts and 6 hits.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively.
Anderson comes in for McDaniels. Alexander Walker, he's checked in for Edwards. And Monte Morris subbed in for Mike Conley. And there's the pass to Thomas. Count that one. Thomas got 6.
And not sure what you can do with a guy like that. With his handles, he can just take defenders to school.
Morris kicks to Anderson. We've got 1:28 left in the third quarter. Buries it down low. Anderson's got his first points of the night.
When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
To me, this is simply stated been a complete lack of defensive attention and focus all night long. Listen, he knows he should have made that shot. We'll see if they can work it back to him in that same area.
And he banks in the layup. Anderson's got his second bucket of the game to go.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Pass to Thomas. It's good. The assist that time from Smith. He's got 8.
And this is what you want from Dennis Smith Jr. He has to find the open man and deliver it on time and on target.
Reed finds Morris. The shot will not fall. Simmons with the defensive effort. Thomas inside, off on the layup.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
We call that a great contest. You know this is something he brings to the table, the ability to anchor your defense.
Offensive rebound. Count it. Simmons got it back down to within single digits for Brooklyn.
Yes, he has the size, but you also have to be willing to be alert and active on the offensive glass. Ben Simmons always a willing participant.
Towns for 3. The shot missing. And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves. Play from earlier as we show you our State Farm assist of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
We call that putting it right in the pocket, and he knew what to do with it once it was there.
Fourth quarter of action is upon us. Thanks as always for joining us. Minnesota leading by 9. On the court for the Nets, getting the fourth quarter going. The post tandem, it's Johnson and Claxton. Bridges out there with Dennis Schroeder, and it's Thomas in at the 3. Floats one, and that's 2 points on the layup.
Well, the touch and the focus. What a pretty move in the lane.
Timberwolves shooting 41% for the game. Edwards passes to Gobert. He dishes it to Conley. Drives to the hoop. It's deflected.
Wow, twice on the pipes from Dennis Schroeder. Woohoo!
Down low, Johnson. The shot's good on the assist by Schroeder. Schroeder's got 3 assists now in this one. Minnesota with the ball. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. McDaniels dishes to Conley. Brooklyn with the rebound.
Not his best game, but they're still getting it done collectively.
Lays it in on the pretty alley-oop.
Yeah, nice silky finish on the alley-oop from the stupendous feed.
That sequence couldn't have been executed any better. Now, here's McDaniel. Not a lot of room. The kick out to Towns. Outside Edwards. A second chance effort. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
Well, battling hard. That's an impressive move by Towns. He'll go to the strike.
Hey guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for Minnesota?
They've been playing some really physical offense, just attacking the paint as much as possible. And I tell you what, they have been very successful with that strategy.
I think another thing that's striking here tonight, the ball movement is incredible. Again and again, they're making smart passes to ready shooters.
Nets trail by 6. Pass to Finney-Smith. Nobody near Schroeder. His 3-pointers off the mark. For Minnesota, they've gone 1 of 4 since the end of the third quarter. Here's Edwards. It's good again, and the next one's 7 for 8 shooting night so far.
Edwards well covered on the interior, scores through the contest.
Bridges kicks it over to Schroeder. This is it to Finney-Smith. Back to Schroeder. 6 to shoot. Looking to get it going. Great D that time from Edwards.
Boy, he's at the cup, but that is tremendous defense. Prohibit the lay-in without fouling.
And there's it's good.
They've gone to him. He has come through big time. You got to keep getting him touches.
Now a timeout called by Brooklyn. And during this timeout, I'm David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. Here's what Jacques Vaughn told his team. Now, he's not happy with the perimeter defense. He told them we have to hustle more out to the three-point line because they look real comfortable out there now. I want you contesting every three they put up. We'll see if that intensity increases on D, guys.
Okay, David, thanks. And he goes big with the dunk right over Mikal Bridges.
What I like here, even with the big lead, they continue to execute their offense.
And that, to me, is a sign of excellent coaching. There's an attention to detail. There is valuing of every possession.
And they're bringing you up close and personal on the AT&T 5G Slam Cam. And he recovers it. Bridges misses. Minnesota with the ball. Right now, they're on a 9-0 run. And Edwards with the stop.
The kind of motor Edwards plays with doesn't give the defense much of a chance to catch him in transition. Nicely done, Anthony.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Here's Johnson. And the Nets miss again.
Boy, you can just see the frustration growing on their faces. Nothing going their way.
It's just been one of those games, and they need to find a way to turn it around before it gets completely away from them.
Getting it done on both ends, and it shows up in the score.
Well, what I love is the energy they're bringing right now. They're ignoring the scoreboard and playing hard.
Johnson, wide open, he fires. The shot's good on the assist by Schroeder. Schroeder's got assist number 5 here tonight. Bridges against Edwards. Makes it off the glass. Edwards got 14 points now in the second half.
Late in the game, up big, they continue to attack.
And as a result, they may be facing just a little bit less resistance right now. They are having their way.
And the officials calling for a 3-second violation.
And you can see what he wanted to do there, but that was a tough
Substitution.
And I think the intention doesn't always equal the result. Wrong play, wrong time.
Anderson, he's checked in for Karl Anthony Towns. Thomas checked in for Brooklyn.
And this is going to end in a lopsided victory. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness as well as the ability to close. You really got to give it up here for the Timberwolves.
What an effort in the transition game we've seen tonight from these guys. Really pushed the ball, and I think in doing so created a lot of pressure on the defense.
Definitely had a huge edge, and this is their DNA. When they run the ball and dictate the flow of the offense like we've seen here, these are the kinds of games they can handle.
And for the year now, they'll ramp up their win total to an even 40.
And in a 3-game season series, they take the first 2, and certainly they've had the edge in this matchup.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Anthony Edwards.
What a relentless scoring night for this guy. In attack mode all evening.
Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves. Naz Reid, he's checked in for McDaniels. Alexander Walker comes in for Edwards. And Morris subbed in for Mike Conley. Here's Alexander Walker. He feeds it to Morris. The layup off target. The Nets on offense. 15-point game. Here's Smith. Morris with the rebound. Here's Alexander Walker, guarded by Walker. Here's Alexander Walker. So it's Minnesota winning this one easily. A confident win.